Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. It's morning for us.
Yes, it
you can tell with
is.
the coffee cup.
Today is May 7th. Good morning. It's morning for us. It might not be where you are. Last night we did a live stream and we realized not everybody prefers to watch or can tune into the live stream.
Yeah.
Or even prefers doing the playback of the live stream.
It's a different dynamic.
It is. So we figured we would do, to keep everybody updated, we would do our kind of channel updates, personal life update, kind of do some of these more often to keep everybody...
Yeah, it's like
lumped in.
You know, when you try to, link up with people you haven't seen, you just need it. Like, hey, we just hook up for some coffee and quick catch up. That's kind of what these are, as well as just touching base and saying, hey, what's up?
Yep.
The live went well. We're trying to implement those again back into our rhythm, which we love them. They're fun, and that's why we're like, you know what? We did one a while back, and we're like, that was fun. Let's do that again.
Also, ironically, we had this planned, and we woke up, and Disney announced huge news about Abu Dhabi. So we'll chat about that in a little while.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is...
We have some opinions about that.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. I did some on Instagram, too, but I want to elaborate a little bit more and chat about it. So I know Greta has a lot of opinions about all of this going on.
Yeah, it's almost like she needs her own channel. Also, we have a big garden update coming soon. We didn't want to talk about that in this video because it's probably the biggest update we've had.
It's also
to this date, and so it's something that we want to.
It's also its own thing. Like, I'm starting to notice.
Yeah.
Whenever we do anything about the garden, like, it tends to just be its own thing. And
it's a dominating force in our repertoire.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I think that's what we're going to do as far as the garden goes. My hair is just driving me crazy today. It's it's just one of those things.
I don't know. I put on a hat, so I can't really speak of that. It's easy for me to just go, yeah.
Does anybody know what that's like? Like, you know how sometimes you just have a day where your hair is just blah? I think I'm just gonna go and like wash it. It's not normally a day I would do the hair wash.
You're like, you know what? I'm just gonna go and wash it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna go scrub it. Like normally that's not what I would do. Like, I have certain days that I don't wash it too much, don't wash it, and that I'm finally just at that point. So if you see me messing with it a lot, I am sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry.
You know what's good too is that it's sunny out finally. We have been. I think it was right before our camping trip that we did. We got a little bit of sun, as you saw in our video. If you saw it, if you didn't, go check that out. And since then, which I don't know how many days it's been, but we have had a series of gloom days, like consistent with no sun, like Seattle style. Some people probably don't notice it. Some of us do. We do. We notice it a lot. It like affects our mood. It affects everything. Our motivation. It's really sad. But that's just being
sad,
real.
But true.
Just being real. So it's sunny out again. We're super stoked, and it's going to be a great day because of that. It just I don't know. I already took Greta out in the morning. I was like, oh man, it is nice outside.
It sure is. I can't tell you enough how excited I am about the sun because it's been really just dragging me down a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I've just been kind of like, when you wake up and it's kind of like, what's the word? Like it's like Cinderella, like a fairy tale where it's like the birds are chirping, the sun is shining. Like when I wake up like that, I am so much more efficient. I am much more driven. And when it's just gloom and then it never gets sunny, I'll look at the clock and it's 12:45.
And you're like, it feels like 9:30 or
like
6 in the morning.
It feels like 6 in the morning. But even on sunny days, we'll have sun at like 6 a.m., so it just messes my whole internal clock up.
Excuse me. I think that has... Whoa, coffee. I think that has something to do with living in like coastal and Southern California, and it might be this way for Northern California, but we get a lot of like overcast mornings that burn off.
Yeah.
So
you've heard that term if you live here.
That's
it's like,
that's why we say hilarious. Like when it's overcast, we say like, it feels like it's just perpetually 9:30 in the morning because that's usually when it's overcast. And then it eventually will break around 11 or noon when the sun gets high enough and hot enough. So that's why we always say those things, because I think people who probably live in different areas don't experience like a marine layer effect or an eddy that we get here in Southern California. Anyways, I digress. I'm speaking, meteorologically.
Is that even a word?
Yeah, maybe it is now.
Meteorologically.
I
just had to adjust.
Meteorologist, yeah. So meteorologically, man, I don't know.
I don't know.
You get what I'm trying to say.
Greta's so annoyed right now. She was laying down, and I had to move her because I felt her kind of like slipping. And she's just like, "Are you serious right now? Are you serious?" She's ready to start the day too.
No, she really is. She's excited. We're doing something fun today that you guys will see soon. That's what we try to do on this channel.
And you are going to see more beach camping. I said this on our live stream last night, but again, not everybody sees everything. But we're kind of doing that as like a little bit of a mini series, like.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what you want to call it, but we're doing a few of them. And it's not all just going to be like this month and next month and then that's it. It's going to be one of those things that we try to do
when they're
different times of the year.
When possible.
When we have time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Vegas. Like we try to go to Vegas like at least once every month or two.
Right.
But sometimes it's not possible. Like
Correct.
The way we run this channel is just...
It's more based on our
lives.
Our lives as opposed to based on the needs
of
a channel, to where if you were trying to implement, something new, you would create a, like a rhythm of doing that because the algorithm likes that type of thing. And
it does. And it's hard.
We are very anti-algorithm. And so...
It's hard, though, because I think a lot of people... because we do a little bit of a vast variety of things and our lives are really like, we're kind of weird if you think about it. Like, we really like going to Disneyland and we like keeping people updated once a week at least. Like, that's what we prefer to do. We have a place in Malibu that was kind of destroyed, for lack of a better word. So we're trying to keep people updated on that.
Yeah.
But we also like going to Vegas. We like going to Palm Springs. We like going to the beach. Mm-hmm. So it's like we also do home vlogs in a garden. So it's like we're a very... so it's like trying to fit everything into...
This channel is a melange.
It is. It really is, though. It's not as...
Because we're about to talk about, Disney. And so that's like...
Yeah,
what?
we do. And I wore your old Mickey shirt today. Do you remember this one?
Oh, yeah.
It's like Target, I think.
Yeah, because the colorway is different. Instead of it really being black, red, and yellow, it's blue, pink, and like neon yellow. It's a great combo. And it's so similar.
Can this be our thumbnail? Look. I'm stretching. If you see that ends up as the thumbnail, you'll know.
Or wait, like you're stretching and I'm going like, what?
Yeah.
What is she doing?
That's so weird.
Well, sometimes it's weird. You'll see people do thumbnails that are like weird faces and it works, and it has nothing to do with it's like, Oh,
I don't know. I don't watch enough YouTube to notice that, but...
Yeah, like almost like,
That's funny.
Is the film industry in Los Angeles dead? And somebody's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't even think you're supposed to say that word, so hopefully he beeped it out in post. But apparently you're not supposed to say certain words like that on the interwebs, I've heard. But speaking of this shirt, that was another question we've been getting so much lately. And I wore one of our shirts on our live stream last night. But we keep getting asked, are you guys going to make any more new merch? And we kind of put it on hold because we noticed it's really difficult for people to be doing the whole merch thing right now.
Yeah, disposable income is not really...
It's kind of difficult for people, but we keep getting requests. So I think what we are going to do is start looking into doing that again. Mm-hmm. For now, though, for everybody who is asking, and we might be taking those down. So we do have merchandise, and it's going to be linked. I will pin a comment on this video, but we do have some merch. And
I'm gonna. I've been telling Katie this. This is honest truth is that I've been wanting to get a few of the shirts that we offer because of the ones I have. They're kind of worn out a little bit. I've gotten a little heavier. I need a bigger size. So I'm going to purchase a couple because we're going to take them down soon. So I'm going to grab them and so that I have them and I can wear them more. It's the graffiti one that you've seen.
Yeah, it's just like a little.
But there's two different colorways that are nice, and so
2 or 3 different little styles,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
again, they're really comfortable. The ones that we chose, they're kind of like a comfort material. I don't
Yeah.
remember what it is,
Yeah.
but we went with a little bit more of a quality for comfort.
Yeah.
So they are available if you want to get them. It's just that we're probably going to take them down now. There is a possibility that maybe they'll hang around. We'll see.
Yeah.
But for now, the plan is that we.
Excuse me.
But for now, the plan is that we are going to make more merch. So to answer that question, yes. Especially when I went on my rant on Instagram. When I did that, there were people that were like, can you make this as merchandise? Can you make? And so I think we're going to look into doing that. I think one of the ones that was most popular requested was, I guess I said a quote, "I'm just a girl trying to have her garden," or something like that.
Yeah. There's some quotes.
Trying to do her backyard garden or something.
Yeah, there's quotes that you were
I think a lot of
talking about doing.
people, a lot of people relate to that because since we've done our garden,
Yeah.
we've had so many people come up to us or DM us or message us or email us and say, we decided to try and do a little backyard garden.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you really have to just kind of go with it because, I mean, we kind of are. We're not experts by any means
No,
necessary.
there's a lot of trial and error involved. And when I think about it, it's one of those things that that's the fun of it. I guess that's my point. It's the fun.
Oops, sorry, I shook the table.
Wobbleina.
My bad.
Don't move your leg off the leg of the table.
If I move now, it'll disturb Greta.
All right.
That's okay. I'm gonna
The fun of it is the trial and error, and it is the overcoming and trying to solve the problems that come up, because you're going to get problems that come up with pests and all sorts of things, pH, whatever.
Not everything is going to work. We've found that out, as well as the fact that it's just fun kind of learning as you go. Like there's a little bit of that, right?
No, it's like I think I've said it before. There's like a science to it where there's like these rules of nature that are involved that we've figured out as humans, and that we implement what we know. You know what I mean? Like as far as growing cycles and the seasons and soils and different pHs and
it's also
it's
like
insane.
With that though, we're also not overthinking it to that degree, and that's what I think is kind of fun about it. And a lot of people, though, we've talked to, we've actually run into people at Disneyland or, out at the beach, we ran into somebody and they were saying, we really didn't have a lot of space and we really didn't know what we were doing, but we just planted some seeds and they're growing. And it's that simple.
Like, I grew tomatoes on the deck in Malibu years ago.
Right, and those are not the best conditions.
No,
right?
it's very humid for one thing.
Right,
and
salty and
I'm on a deck, so I don't get a ton of sun in there.
She's gonna sit on your lap for a minute so I can adjust myself.
She's gonna move
dog
again.
Parenting. I have to adjust myself. My foot fell asleep. But
how about Raw Dog the video?
Okay, well, my leg fell asleep. Okay. Oh, I just had to stretch. Greta, we love you.
All right. So we're gonna change the subject. We're gonna move on.
Yeah. So the thing that we have to talk about first, though, is Abu Dhabi Disney.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I'm joking. Abu Dhabi Disney. What the heck? We woke up and my phone.
So tell people if they don't know what you're talking about, because I don't think everybody knows.
Okay, yeah. So Disney announced they're making I think it's 7th. Call me great.
Whatever.
They're announcing another park, and it's going to go in Abu Dhabi in the UAE.
The United Arab Emirates.
Yeah. So, first thing you need to know is it is not being funded by Disney. It's by another company, like something with an M. Similar
to like Tokyo Disney Sea.
Yeah.
They have paid for the rights to the names and licensed the all the IP and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as the money and who runs it the day to day, is someone else.
Yeah, but it
Right.
has the Disney name.
Right, it has a Disney name. Well, we'll talk about all that. But the thing is, that's a place that we just saw. If you know about surfing at all, Kelly Slater created a wave pool up in Central California. It was a prototype, really, and it's become. It's like one of the best wave pools in the world. There's different technologies, but Kelly Slater is kind of the goat of surfing, and so his wave pool and his technology is sought after. They just built one in Abu Dhabi. They're very expensive to build, but if you know anything about Abu Dhabi and UAE, it's they have a lot of money. Like it's almost bottomless because it's like areas are run by sheiks. And it's an interesting system. I don't really know too much about the details, but they have a lot of money and they could do really extravagant things, which they have done. It's an interesting place. So with that said, putting a Disney park over there isn't surprising. Mm-mm. But I think what we're going to talk about is it's surprising on the other end of like Disney licensing their name to a place like that in knowing what that place is kind of about beyond its extravagance and money. There's details that are like, wow, it's interesting. So that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be a hot button topic for a while. I know, right. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I had quite a few thoughts on my Instagram, but right off the bat, like instinctually, the first thing I thought of is whether they're funding it or not. Mm-hmm. How the heck are you as a company worried or putting any focus on anything else when your original Magic Kingdom that Walt Disney built himself is kind of rotting? Like Tomorrowland is a disaster. We have no entertainment, like pretty much no entertainment. We have Hyperion Theater empty. Fantasyland Theater has a Pixar weird thing going on. There's just so much not happening.
Maybe, and I don't know if we don't know anything on the inside, but what if maybe they're going to take the licensing money that they got and fix Disneyland? I doubt it, but it would be a nice thought, right? That would be like, hey,
but then the question is,
we're selling off part of our brand so that we can retain.
But the question is, though, this is not a company that needs that. They have enough. Their executives are making millions of dollars, and cast members can't even earn a living wage. So that's a good thought. But if that's the case, and then let's not even, my second thought was, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, but when I put it into Google, I use the internet machine, I Googled because I was like, what the heck? Like, is UAE or Abu Dhabi, is that like friendly for gay people? I don't think so.
Is it LGBTQ
whatever it is?
Friendly?
I don't. Yeah,
no, it's what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah, no, I'm saying and I don't think it is from what I Googled it.
Yeah.
So that's a little concerning, like about the safety there, and then I don't know about how things are for women.
From what I heard, this is just what I know, and I could be wrong, but like it's illegal.
Yeah.
Meaning like you can be jailed, you could be punished.
Yeah.
It's not about like social stigma and being ostracized. It's like literally illegal.
That's what I'm saying, what is it? I don't even know.
And it's horrible. So for a company that stands on
inclusivity,
a moral inclusivity of they kind of stand on that as the hill that they are going to unalive on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's a big deal for them, or it has been, to stand up for inclusivity, and why not? Of course they should, right?
Come here.
So it's weird when they pivot in this way.
Right. Like, what are you doing there? Like, that makes no sense.
They could say, hey, we're trying to influence change or whatever. It's like, well, is that really your job? But I don't know if that's what they're trying to do. To me, it seems like a nice licensing deal that garnered them a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And all they have to do is sign on the dotted line, and they take a check. Yep.
And at the end of the day, though, I think you brought it up. it's still Disney, still a Disney park.
Well,
whether it's run by them, whether it's
if you're going to take the stance, I think what you're saying is, if you're going to take the stance of, hey, it's not our park really, it's theirs, and we just gave them the green light to use our name. Well, if they didn't use the Disney moniker, they wouldn't have built it. What would they do? It wouldn't have the reason that it works and that they're licensing. They're paying so much money to use the name and the IP.
right.
Is because of its impact worldwide and its reach worldwide, based on its values that people, family inclusive types of values that they promote, family values. Mm-hmm. So licensing is just as good as you breaking ground and building it yourself. It's no different. It's still the brand, because people, not everybody is business savvy or even aware, cares that
Right.
like, wait, who owns this and who runs this? Nobody, like, we talk about that stuff, but like in the end, when you're buying a ticket to a theme park and jumping on Space Mountain, the last thing you're thinking about is who's managing this and who's in charge and
Right.
and what are their core values and what do they stand. Nobody's thinking about that. I mean, like I
Not
said,
really.
we
Yeah.
are talking about it because it's kind of odd that they take a stance one way and then make an action in a different way.
But again, I think it's just proving everything we've been noticing and seeing over the past, like, since 2020. Disney is really proving the fact that they are all about the money. They are all about the money.
They're not trying to hide
are-
it anymore, like, at all. They're not,
No.
you know how, like,
And
It's-
this isn't just like a bash on Disneyland thing. This is
No.
real things. Like, you have, like I said, I keep going back, like, Tomorrowland is in shambles. It's taking you 27 business years to do any kind of expansion in Disneyland. They have told us how many times for the past 4 or 5 years that they're expanding, they're doing this, yet all they're doing is raising prices. They've cut entertainment. They have cast members that can't even afford to live. Even with raising the minimum, it's still not enough for many of them. Not only that, but it's just all they won't even fix the Phantasmic Dragon, the icon finale of Phantasmic show. And they won't even you're telling me that you're a $1 billion company and you can't afford to fix that dragon.
my thing also, I can't help but think that this whole thing, this Abu Dhabi thing, this announcement, was a direct response to Epic Universe because they have nothing.
Maybe.
And think about it. Epic Universe, Universal is just about to, are they open to the public yet?
I don't know.
Anyways, they're
Maybe
just
so.
about to open a brand new gate,
Right.
right? New park. And what does Disney have?
Nothing.
Oh, we're putting out a new character this summer. Yay.
Yeah. Or they're doing the 70th.
No. It's the perfect, like, hello, like, that's their answer is, well, we're doing Abu Dhabi. It's like they've probably had that on the back burner, and that deal's been festering for a long time, and they probably just went, what are we going to do? We have
Throw this
nothing
at
to
it.
say. We don't have it. Oh, yeah, we got a new park here. Just green light the Abu Dhabi thing. We don't have to do anything. We'll take a paycheck, and now we got a new park, too. What?
Yeah.
And it's like,
you're not wrong.
I would put a lot of money on the fact that this is a response. This is a sad response to Epic Universe. Like, really? That's what you're going to do? You're going
Yeah.
to just kind of license it off and go, hey, there's these other guys who are building a park that we allow them to do. Like,
And then for the 70th,
Man.
for the 70th here, you're basically going, okay, here's an old parade that was out for the 60th. Here's an old fireworks show. While they are great, and I love them. I love Paint the Night, and I think Wondrous Journeys is great. You're giving, like, you can't even come up with a new parade or fireworks show?
Well, okay, she's right. And Wondrous Journeys, which is a great fireworks
Yeah, it's
show.
pretty good.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
That was designed specifically for the 100th anniversary of the company of Disney.
Right.
And it's reflected in the content. Literally, it starts off with
Right.
Steamboat Willie, and it goes through
And
this
yeah.
journey of, like, how many? Like, so many.
Over 100?
Right.
I don't know. something
None
like
of that relates. I mean, there is
There's
loose relates to the park, but
Yeah.
you have a show like Remember Dreams Come True that is directly related to the park
Disneyland.
that you're having the anniversary for. Wouldn't that make more sense if you're going to just throw a rehash in there?
But why do they do that, though? Because they know...
It's so
They
weird.
just know that us Americans, and again, we're guilty of it too, I've said this on Instagram, we'll take it. They just need to throw merch at us,
Well, here's the
throw
reality.
some food with some food coloring in it, and we'll
Wondrous
buy
Journeys, here's the reality. Wondrous Journeys is already in. It's loaded in. everything's there for it. All
It's
they have to
minimum
do
effort.
is flip the switch, right?
Right.
If they brought back Remember Dreams Come True, that would mean we got to rehearse it, we got to relight it, we got to do a new sequence, we got to do something to kind of amp up or whatever, but they got to rehearse it at least and implement it and put it in, and that costs money, and
Right.
they don't want to spend a dime on the 70th. They just want to make money on merchandise on these things. That's what these things are about in the end.
It's true.
The pitch meetings are not about, hey, what are we offering new or anything. It's about how can we maximize the merchandise and food in these times that we do these anniversaries, because in the past we've seen a spike in both of those areas when we do a 60th, when we do a 70th or whatever, because it gives us a reason to make something that seems exclusive and seems like, hey, I need to get this because it's a timely thing. I know people who get a pin every time something new happens, and they get the pin that relates to that time, because it's like a timestamp.
Yeah.
And so they are banking on the fact that the merchandise and the food is like a timestamp for that, and that's all they're offering, because aside from the Walt Disney animatronic, there is nothing that I have seen for me that even stands out.
The only thing that is semi-new is the World of Color. They're throwing Inside Out over it. Like, so that's about it.
So
but
they're adding
other
a
than
scene or something to it.
No, it's like a new show.
Oh, it's a new show.
But it's World of Color. I mean, how is Inside Out
Is that Disneyland?
celebrating Disneyland?
That's DCA.
Like, why aren't we celebrating, like,
just
Walt
so
Disney?
weird.
Why aren't we celebrating? There's just, and again, whether this Abu Dhabi thing is funded by Disneyland, ran by or Disney, whatever the heck, how are you guys, and again, they do this at a time when it's like, cool, we're just going to distract the Americans, even though, like, on, Expedition Everest, that Yeti is still broken. You're telling me a $1 billion company can't fix that. You have an empty Starcade building in Tomorrowland. You have a whole Innoventions building that you're using 1/4 of it. You can't even do a character meet and greet there until after 2 o'clock. Until 2 o'clock. More than half of that building is not even being utilized. And whether they're using it for training or not, you guys have plenty of other spaces for that. I'm sorry, that's not an excuse. When people are paying hundreds of dollars to get into that park.
My other question is, in what other areas are they going to do this? Because, like I said, this is sign on the dotted line and take a paycheck. So I foresee them doing, because they're in financial trouble as far as the model that they are operating on, with how much money they're spending, their overhead, how much money they pay their executives and all that stuff. That model, they're not going to change that model. So in order to keep that going, they're having to jump over these hurdles like Abu Dhabi and make that happen, because they don't have capital coming in, man. I don't know business that well, but I can just tell you from the outside, it seems like that is a desperate move for some quick capital, some quick cash to do something, or to like save something, or you know what I mean?
Yep.
It seems like it's about that. So if I'm right about that, you're going to see it again in some other fashion. You're going to see them license out something else somewhere else, maybe, because that's too easy. That is cash money in the bank without having to do anything, and just go, yeah, you're allowed to use it. Cool.
Yeah,
man.
it's definitely, like I said, it's a really big slap in the face for a lot of people. Again, for me personally, and I know you, we're not Disney content creators. We're not theme park content creators. We have no desire, like, there is not a part of us, and I've said it a million times, there is no part of us that is like planning a Disney trip to go to Tokyo, Disney, Shanghai, Hong Kong, or Disneyland Paris. Now, I said this on my Instagram as well. I'm not saying that if I wasn't in Europe, I wouldn't pop into, Disneyland Paris for a couple days. Sure, I would love to see it. It's not on my list.
But we're not skipping the Louvre for Disney.
No,
I guess that's the
if
point,
I had a choice between going to Switzerland and seeing the Swiss Alps, or Germany, where my family's from, or going to Disneyland Paris, I will choose any of those locations 10 times over. Again, so this isn't really affecting us per se.
No, because we wouldn't go anyways. But here's another interesting angle. Excuse me. The content creators that do kind of exclusively do a lot of Disney stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm putting her on your lap.
Yeah. I think that what's going to happen when because this is, anything that happens Disney, whether it's a cruise, Cotino, they do a pop-up, Pixar bowling, Pixar putt, whatever. People will go, and the Disney content creators will go, and they will cover it, because it's related to Disney.
Yep.
How are they going to justify going to that place, knowing the social, the way that they are about
not only that, but
LGBTQ?
It's the Middle East, for crying out loud. That's not very accessible for many people.
Who's going? Like.
Well, maybe if you're on a media list, that would
even if
help.
you're on a media list, are you going to that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, are you going to really support that? Like, all right, like,
I don't know.
You do what you want, but like, I wouldn't even touch that with a.
No, you couldn't pay me to go to the Middle East personally. Like, you couldn't pay me enough. It's the same thing with the cruise. You can't pay me to do that.
That's not my beef.
Either.
My beef is that I'm not going to a place that's going to ridicule and jail and or unalive people that choose to love somebody, and it's a different thing than the norm. I have a lot of friends in that community, and I'm sorry, but that's.
Yeah, I don't care where you stand. That's humanity, man.
Well, yeah, it's also like archaic and old. Like, we're not living in caves anymore. That kind of behavior, that thought behavior, is weird and old and archaic. I'm sorry.
It's true.
And I'm not out there grandstanding, about that stuff.
It boils my blood, though.
Yeah. So if you're going to support that and be into that, cool. Good luck. Good luck with that, because like.
Even Greta said she does not accept it.
No.
But the point is, again, there's so many different angles to look at this and problem. I mean, again, I'm just like, I still have a lot of thoughts about it that I can't even put into this video, or you'll keep this on for hours. But it's definitely not news that I was expecting. But I'm also like, knowing how.
I'm not surprised, though.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not surprised. They've really took Disneyland down. I mean, honestly, if you.
On the year of Disney's 70th anniversary, you're going to do this kind of thing?
Yeah, but like, even the 70th, like, this is the most kind of half-baked, if you will.
Well,
it's not really that. I don't know.
Well, but somebody made a good point. I even said this. Remember, we were asked last year about, are they going to do a 70th? And I was like,
I didn't even think they were.
We thought, no, they're going to do 75 because that's the natural.
Yeah, it's the big one.
Right, for anniversaries. But no, they leaned into 70, but not a lot. So, like, you were even saying this to me the other night. Like, do you think they're going to maybe, like, double down for 75? And that's why they're doing, like, this half-cooked version here? Or is half-cooked just how they do it? And 75 is going to be like just even less than that.
Who knows? I don't know how they're even doing a celebration when Tomorrowland looks as bad as it does, when the parks are overcrowded to the point of, like, we've had so many people message us and say, I was miserable. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you can go and, like, things work great. And we have had people that have left and been like, dude, we had a great time. We were there for 3 days. Everything was wonderful for them. That is what I like to hear. I prefer to hear that, but I just don't hear that as often. So,
yeah. It's a weird thing, but what are you going to do? They're doing their thing, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm curious to see. This is our reaction. I'm curious to hear what everybody else says. People that. Have an opinion that I actually respect. I'm curious to see what they say. It's still early. I mean, this just happened this morning, so.
And whatever it is, though, if you are commenting about that, let's just try to keep it nice and, respectful to everybody, because I think when it does bring up these topics, sometimes things get a little, like, it does tend to get heated. Although almost everything, you could talk about apples and oranges and people would.
You can talk about churros and it could get contentious.
It could get very contentious. But anyways, let's just try to remember that in the comment section.
Or not, just go crazy. No,
yeah, just go wild.
Get yourself banned from the platform. Just
why not?
Just
do it. Don't. Anyway, we have to get going on our day, and it's going to be fun, and we look forward to sharing it with you. We hope that you guys enjoyed this little channel personal life update.
Yeah.
And obviously an oddly timed, weird, big Disney update. Like, kind of good thing that happened on the day what we were.
No, it is. And let us know what you guys think. Also, if you have any fun topics to coffee chat about, let us know.
Yeah, so we can chat about it next time.
Yeah.
Speaking of coffee, everyone was asking in our live yesterday. No, it's not. That's what I was trying to say. We did try the new Kirkland. I think we have 2 more, maybe 1 or 2 more of this that I want to finish up. Then we will try the Kirkland. But we are going to share it with you. We're going to let you know how we like it because everybody is curious. I mean,
They are.
we all want to know. So anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and we can't wait to share our next fun adventure with you.
Yeah, have the best day ever. Thanks to our Patreons. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah, I was trying to put Greta on you.